Today we are going to learn how to form quadratic equation from the roots of the quadratic equation. Now let's look at this quadratic equation. This equation, we can factorize it. We get -4 and -1. Here we already factorize it. And then, so x minus 4 equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. So we get x equal 4 or x equal 1. Now this 4 and 1 are called the roots of this quadratic equation. So from the equation we can find the roots. Conversely, we can actually form this quadratic equation if we are given the roots. From here we can get this. Now let's look at one example. If we are given roots, the roots of a quadratic equation 3 and 2, and we want to find the quadratic equation. So the first thing is that we can write this. We can write this equation. X minus 3, x minus 2. Note that when it is 3, here is -3. When this is 2, this is -2. Just like here. When it is -4, the root is 4. When it is -1 here, the root is 1. Right, now we can expand it. So x times x we get x squared. And then -3 times x we get -3x. And then x times -2 we get -2x. -3 times -2 we get 6. And we get x squared minus 5x plus 6. So here, note that this 5 is actually the sum of 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 we get 5. And this 6 is actually the product of 3 and 2. 3 times 2 we get 6. So if we are given the roots of a quadratic equation, alpha and beta, we get this equation. Note that it is negative here. Expand it, we get this one. Now let's look at the general form of a quadratic equation. If a is 1, this refers to equations like x squared minus 5x plus 6, x squared plus 3x minus 7, and so on. Comparing these two, we can see that negative bracket alpha plus beta equal b. Or we can move the negative sign to the right hand side. And alpha beta equal c. If a is not 1, this refers to the equations like 2x squared minus 5x plus 6, 5x squared plus 3x minus 9, and so on. Here, we can divide both sides by a. And we get this. Comparing the two, we can see that negative bracket alpha plus beta equal b over a. Or we can move the negative sign to the right hand side. And alpha beta equal c over a. So in general, in terms of the roots of a quadratic equation can be written as this. Or, in words, x squared minus sum of roots x plus product of roots. Right, let's look at this question. Form quadratic equation from roots on 3 and negative 6. The first method is we are going to write this equation now. When the root is 3, here is negative 3. And when the root is negative 6, here is plus 6. And then we expand it. X times x, we get x squared. Negative 3 times x, we get negative 3x. And then x times 6, we get 6x. Negative 3 times 6, we get negative 18. And we get the quadratic equation already. The second method is this. Where alpha and beta are the roots, which is 3 and negative 6. So we just plug in the number 3 plus negative 6 alpha times beta, so 3 times negative 6. So we have 3 plus negative 6, we get negative 3, and then there's a negative here, so we have plus 3. Oh, sorry, there should be an x here. And then 3 times negative 6, we get negative 18. We get the same answer. One more question. We are required to form quadratic equation given the roots are negative 1 over 5 and 1 over 2. Method number 1, we are going to write this equation. X and x here. And then this is negative 1 over 5. So here is plus 1 over 5. And this one, negative 1 over 2. So here is negative 1 over 2. And then we can expand it and we get the quadratic equation. Or we can do it this way. For negative 1 over 5, we are going to write it as x equal negative 1 over 5. So 5x equal negative 1. And then we move negative 1 to the left hand side. So here we have 5x plus 1. And then for 1 over 2, we are going to do the same. So 2x equal 1. And then we move 1 to the left hand side. So here it is 2x minus 1. We can expand both, either one, and we'll get the same answer. Let's say I expand this one. 5x times 2x, we get 10x squared. Negative 5x. And we get the quadratic equation. The second method is this. Where alpha and beta are the roots. So we just substitute this value into here. Right, 1 over 2 minus 1 over 5 is 5 over 10 minus 2 over 10. We get 2 over 10. So we substitute this one into here. Two times negative 5 is negative 10. Next, we multiply both sides by 10. And we get 10x squared. See, this answer is the same as this one here.